Hello guys, I would like to talk to you today about search engines. We use them every day. It's basically the main source of information in the world now, and in the internet age, the age of information that we live in, search engines have kind of become the centerpiece of how we communicate and how we receive information in this country, well, in the world. So I'd like to talk a bit about search engines. I've done a little bit of digging into some new ones. Of course, you have Google, which is a monopoly, and Google search has control over most of the information that is transmitted in this country, in the world, I suppose. Google has, but particularly in the United States, and also because even other developed countries, particularly in Europe, have done a lot of antitrust action and regulations of Google and other social media and search engines like that. But particularly Google is doing very well in the United States and controls a great amount of information that comes through the internet and consolidates it and connects people in the way that they see fit. And they're not above manipulating the public. That's pretty much what they do now. And let's not forget that Google was pretty much has deep ties to our intelligence agencies and has had those ties from the start. So Google has immense power in this country. Google search has incredible powers of controlling the flow of information in this country and what people are educated on and what they're not. But there are alternatives to Google. There always have. There was a time in the early and mid-2000s when Google was still very powerful and was still a monopoly, but was not as big of one. There have been websites. I remember like Ask Jeeves was an option that was relatively competitive back in the day. But you also have, today you still have, I would say DuckDuckGo is pretty much the only one that anybody knows about other than Google. Most people don't know anything about other search engines besides Google, besides DuckDuckGo. Like if you're looking for an alternative, if you ask most people to name an alternative to Google search for a search engine, the minority of people who could name any alternative to Google they would say DuckDuckGo. There are other ones. Bing is another one. I guess people would also say Bing. They might say Bing, but most people don't even know what that is, I would think. It hasn't done that well, even though it's owned by Microsoft. It's Microsoft's attempt to compete with search engines, to have a competing search engine against Google. And even then, it's still very minuscule in its reach. People don't use it. I mean, there's a reason why when people say, all right, well, search this online, they say Google. When they say Google something, Googling became the word. It's been that way for many years. It became the word that just means the catch-all word or phrase for searching for information online or looking up something online, trying to find information online about something. You Google it. You don't DuckDuckGo it. You don't Quack it. You don't Bing it. But there are other options out there. Like I'll just say there are several others that are usable but are not really that different from Google. They either achieve the same search results as Google, essentially the same search results, or they're actually powered by Google or powered by DuckDuckGo, because DuckDuckGo is competitive. Not competitive, but it's like the number 2 or number 3 search engine. So the other search engines, most of the other search engines that are not Google or DuckDuckGo or Bing, are powered by or rely on their search results primarily from Google or DuckDuckGo or Bing. Sites like Oscobo, Oscobo, powered by Google. Quaint, Qwant, that's another search engine, powered by Google. Lukol is Lukol. I apologize, but a lot of these search engines are hard to spell out. They're kind of silly names, not different from Google or DuckDuckGo or Bing. But there's Lukol, also powered by Google. There are other options like Gibiru, Gibiru, or Startpage. Essentially, I've only found, so besides Google, there are a handful of other search engines that are relatively known about amongst people, amongst some people, and then there's a handful more that are not very well known at all, but also happen to basically achieve the same search results as Google or Bing or DuckDuckGo, because they pretty much all use the same algorithms, and and if they don't, they're actually powered by those search engines in some way. I've really only found 3 search engines, so I really am just here to talk about the 3 search engines that you can use that actually give you some variation of search results. They're not the same exact search results as you're going to get from the other mainstream search engines or mainstream affiliate search engines. Those are Yandex, Yandex. That's a Russian-owned. It's a search engine based in Russia. There's Swiss Cows. Swiss Cows is a search engine based in Switzerland. And then there's Brave. Brave is a search engine based somewhere in California. But there's I really have only found like 3 search engines that actually give you different results than from what you would get from Google or DuckDuckGo or Bing. Like if you're looking for alternatives to Google, I really wouldn't count on DuckDuckGo or Bing, or really most of the other ones either, because they all kind of use the same search results, and you're not going to really get that much diversity of opinion, diversity of connection of information presented to you. If you choose Google or DuckDuckGo or Bing or Ecosia or Oscobo or Quaint or Lukol or Gibiru or Startpage, you're not going to find, I did some searching and I found that you're not really going to find much different information. The best way to do this searching is to try to search something controversial. Try to search something that you wouldn't really want to search on Google, something a little controversial, and see what the results are. And there are only a few search engines that really give you much, there are only a few search engines that really give you the nitty-gritty kind of fringe other side of the internet and search results. Those are, again, Yandex, Swiss Cows, and Brave. Now, and again, you can kind of tell which search engines are really more open-minded and kind of collect their results from different places other than the other one. From the other ones, because the ones that are all in Google's orbit are all kind of emulating Google or actually getting their results from Google. And those ones are going to deliver a lot of the same results. I'm not saying that you should, I'm not saying that there's no reason to, you can look on Google and then look on DuckDuckGo and you're going to, or Bing or Yahoo, and you're going to see kind of the same search results. And especially if you look at something controversial, you're gonna find there's a lot of manipulation of their search results if it's something you search that's controversial. But if you go on Yandex or Swiss Cows or Brave, you're going to find some interesting, pretty, like if you search something racist or something about conspiracy theories, you're going to have a better chance of finding them on Yandex or Swiss Cows or Brave. You'll find a lot of interesting search results that you're not going to find from your Google affiliated search results. So I recommend to anybody who's interested in getting a more diverse range of search results and want to find and people who want to find more, who want to find a broader range of ideas, who are interested in a diversity of opinion and kind of more freedom of information access, I suggest that you go ahead and skip. You might as well skip sites like DuckDuckGo and Bing. They say that they're different search engines, but you're not going to get much different. Whatever differences they are very minimal. They're pretty much just worse versions of Google. So I say skip the DuckDuckGo and the Bing and the Yahoo and go straight to sites like Yandex, Swiss Cows, or Brave if you want to find the dark side of the internet. All right, thanks guys.